What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Fan Perspective. Today we have a very special guest with us. Mike Belcaster was here a minute ago, and he must have just disconnected his brand new camera. But we have Austin. Wait, say your last name again.
Heinbaugh.
Heinbaugh with us from Pro Wrestling Central on Twitter. And if you haven't seen one of our fan perspectives before, it's just sitting around and talking with wrestling fans and having that conversation. Let's hear. All right, man. We have some people joining us. We got Tyson here tonight. It's
all right.
You know what that means. And young Anthony, of course. Young Anthony.
Nice.
Showing up. So Austin, welcome to the show, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Busy day today. We returned back to school, so I teach. For those of you guys that don't know, I teach business. So today was the first day back in over a year and a half for students, so today was hectic.
Wow. So what was that like? Okay, before we get into the wrestling, like, how was that? Was it emotional? Like,
I mean, a lot. The students were tired. They definitely weren't used to the schedule of having 8 periods a day. But as we got throughout the day, and the kids really found where they needed to go, I mean, it was good. So I enjoy not talking to Microsoft Teams logos online. I enjoy actually talking to students. So today was good. It was good.
Hey, and it's funny is when I was in high school, I never went to 8 periods because I cut so much.
Yeah.
But I won't promote that. That's not a good thing. Don't do that if you're in high school. And I still graduated on time, so that was a crazy thing. But anyway, so dude, when did you start watching wrestling?
Oh my God! Like the earliest memories. So I was born in 1995. I guess we'll start it out with that. The earliest memories, my dad, huge giant wrestling fan. I can remember just watching vaguely when I was young, probably I want to say like 1998, really the heart of the Attitude Era. So that's, I mean, really, I can remember just chilling with my dad, watching the Monday Night Wars, just vaguely, but obviously going back and revisiting that stuff, man. That's what really got me falling in love with pro wrestling. So that's kind of where it all started, and ever since it's been full throttle.
What is your earliest memory? Like, do you like a match, a promo? I know I have things I remember. And it's funny because I have like 3 or 4 things, but I don't know which was first. What is things that stand out to you guys?
My earliest memory was definitely the Corvette segment from forget which Monday Night Raw it was, but when Stone Cold obviously filled up Vince's Corvette, that was, I think, one of the earliest things I noticed, and I can never get the glass break out of my head when it fills up completely and just shatters. So that's definitely hello, Mike.
What's up?
Mike's back.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties with the new camera.
Yeah, but we're good, right?
All right. Yeah,
clear. You look good.
I can see clear now, but keep going. Vince's Corvette. Right. That's all I heard.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably my earliest memory. I don't know. I just can't. The white Corvette. It's just something that constantly resonates with me, and I was very young at that point. I forget what year that was, but me and my dad used to always watch that. So that's probably my earliest memory, I would say.
Wow, that's awesome. I think my earliest memories are Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson winning the tag team titles.
Nice.
I remember Ivan Putski and Jesse Ventura doing like an arm wrestling thing in the middle of the ring.
Okay.
And I remember Piper hitting Snooker with the coconut, but I think that was a little later on. But that's awesome. Mike, do you remember, like, do you have a vivid memory of like one of the first segments or matches you remember?
Always remember Scott Hall walking under the ladder, you know, right when he was fighting Sean.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I was at my grandma's house. We were there for a family party. She had the old, like, gray black boxes from whatever the hell cable company it was back in the day.
Yeah,
I had like, that. Boom. Yeah, and it was like that sticks out. And then after that, it's like Foley getting thrown off the cell, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, I was always at family gatherings, sneaking away, going on their TVs. You guys got cable? Yeah, okay, cool. Boom. Like, let me throw on wrestling.
Yeah, that sounds very, very familiar. That's how I saw the first couple WrestleManias. I went over to my uncle's house because he had it. And he had the big satellite dish though, because I don't think there were pay-per-views back then.
Yeah.
So, but so obviously you grew up in a time when there was really only WWE. So you're a WWE guy, right?
Yeah, but I mean, AEW is. I mean, my biggest thing right now with WWE is just I hate repetitiveness. I just it's so difficult to deal with seeing the same things 4 weeks straight. And I mean,
Yeah.
AEW, it's just fresh every week. And I mean, what a
So
time
far,
to be
so
a
good.
wrestling fan. What a
Yeah.
time. CM Punk, I'm jealous of you guys. That was I've rewatched that probably 30 times. Like
Yeah.
before we go out, I coach football. Before I got to football practice, I listen to Call to Personality and I rewatch that segment just to get me like hyped for practice. And
Hell yeah.
Dude,
it's
it's
awesome.
funny because that's the first segment in many, many years that I've gone back and watched over and over and over and over, and I just can't get enough of it. I could just keep. I don't remember the last time I've done that with anything on wrestling. Like not even as much as I've gone back, but even going back and watching something twice. Like I don't
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
doing that, and I could just go back. And I've also watched a one from Dynamite. Like it's just so good. He's bringing something so fresh. Like
And
you know.
The Bryan Danielson hint, oh my god, that was a thing of beauty. Ooh.
Dude, I love that wasn't planned, but I popped so big for that when he did that.
Yeah.
I think knowing Tony Khan, if that was Vince, he would have been like, God damn it, what's he doing? Tony Khan probably popped in the back for it just because it was so natural.
Yep, exactly.
And now he knows like more people are going to be tuning in just to say, okay, when is Daniel Bryan going to be there?
Yeah,
exactly.
Good teases. Very good teases.
Yeah, like it couldn't have been done any more perfect. It really couldn't have. Like I just remember that's somebody else's stick. I think you're gonna have to be a little more patient.
Yep.
Like it's so awesome, so awesome,
beautiful.
And the way he cuts his promos, like the way he cut that promo at Rampage, to me, like was just so amazing. And like even like just the different tones of voices, and like for a guy that didn't go in with any preparation. Like he cut the best promo we've seen probably since the pipe bomb.
Yeah.
It was
even the way he called out Darby Allin and Darby Allin. Like I'm so excited for Sunday night. I cannot wait.
Oh my god, I'm getting it, and we have off Labor Day, so I'm gonna have a couple drinks.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Enjoy the show, Mike. I know it looks like Corona's your beer of choice from the podcasts I've been watching. So
it's just the low-cal Corona, but I've switched to Miller 64 lately, so I'm trying to enjoy it a little bit.
Okay, there you go.
I'll be there live and in person, man. Ready to roll.
Stop teasing us. We have a question.
Oh, let's go question first. Questions are way more important than my seat
From
choice.
another Austin, do you think CM Punk with AEW now is similar to the modern day Attitude Era against WWE? No, I you know what? This feels different and fresh. There's hints of like it's not PG, which I love, but to me, it doesn't really feel Attitude Era-ish. It feels, it's something fresh. It's something different. What do you think, Austin?
I mean, I just think the landscape of pro wrestling's changing. So we look at NXT and we look at their rebranding tactics, and they're really getting away from the whole indie style type wrestler. And
they said that's not entirely true. They came out and retracted that.
Okay.
Yeah, they said if there's an indie guy that we like, we're still signing him. Don't believe.
Okay.
Like,
does he have to be younger though? I know that was controversial. Kind of
younger and taller.
I know they still. Either way, when you go into WWE, you have to learn the WWE way. So, but I don't know. I think, like you said, it's just different. We're in different times now. I don't think we'll ever see that type of edginess that the Attitude Era brought from a lot of like what their promos brought. But I mean, I think it's like you said, it's a different time. It's just a different feeling, a different vibe. And I don't remember ever being this excited for a weekly wrestling program in a long time. Like I am so excited. Normally I'd be hesitant to pay money for a pay-per-view, but I'm just like, AEW, take my money. I don't care. Take it.
I mean, I've ordered the past 2 AEW pay-per-views, and I can't wait to order this one. And when you're charging me $50 only 4 times a year, I could support that.
Yeah.
Like you're not doing it monthly to me. Like it's much more affordable when you're doing it like they're doing it. Mm-hmm. The other thing I'm really excited for is the Saturday night specials that'll be coming on TNT.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's going to be friggin' awesome.
The super cards, right?
Yeah. Kind of like a Saturday night's main event back in the day. They were always special when they would come along. Mm-hmm. So now you got 4 pay-per-views and 4 specials like that a year. Like,
Yeah.
AEW is just, kicking it on all cylinders.
Oh,
It
my
really
God.
is. And it's kind of
Mhm.
funny because you don't really probably remember then guys jumping ship. And that, back in the day, back in the Attitude Era, seeing guys pop up on Raw, guys pop up on Nitro, like that was a special feeling
Yeah.
that's been lacking from wrestling for how many years now? Right,
I
Mike?
agree.
Yeah, no, for sure. Man, I keep preaching it. This is like a whole new era of everything. Like we got new kayfabe going on. That like
Yep.
we can't predict what the fuck's going to happen on AEW next.
Yeah.
We got way more exciting times because we're getting people we haven't seen or we've been clamoring to see in a different light being projected into this bigger stage.
Mhm.
And then that's not stealing from the Daniel Bryants because I know he's Mr. WrestleMania of this generation, but to see him unchained and to be doing his own thing, like I can't fucking wait, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so you grew up with CM Punk then, right, Austin?
Oh, yeah.
Was he a favorite?
I love him so much, and I've grown, I think, to appreciate him so much more, even in his absence. So I was lucky enough to be at that last Royal Rumble pay-per-view in Pittsburgh that he wrestled at, not
Ooh.
knowing, I mean, there was obviously a lot of heat he had with the company, but not knowing that legit would be his last time wrestling in 7 years. So, I mean, I've went back and watched his promos and watched his stuff throughout ROH, ECW, all those when he was originally in ECW, and then all the other stuff he's done. And I just have learned to grow to love him even more. And I loved him back when he was obviously within WWE, but I mean, what he's been doing the past or his first 2 appearances in AEW has just been special. So
Yeah.
I'm happy.
You can't shit on what he did in WWE because he was the most entertaining thing.
Yep.
While he was there, he worked against the authority. He got them to approve the pipe bomb. I don't know if you listened to the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, but Brian Myers was talking about how the night of the pipe bomb, he drove with Punk afterwards and they went to dinner. And he said he said he had confirmed it was definitely a work. And he said, but the locker room didn't know. And they all were in the back with their jaws dropped watching it. Like, oh my God, is he really doing this?
Yeah.
They thought he was going against everything. But like, and I guess that was a different Vince McMahon to give the guy a live mic and say, hey, just go do what you want to do. And, let's make some good TV because apparently Vince has forgotten how to do that, unfortunately.
Yes.
And brings us to talking about CM Punk saying this past week, he's retiring the voice of the voiceless. I thought that was so awesome when he said, because there are guys in the back that listen. And it's so obvious watching AEW from when it kicked off to now, you see the changes they made. It's become just enough sports entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not as sporty as they said it was going to be, but they have a perfect mix.
Yes.
Like they've done such a wonderful job at listening to the fans, and the ratings are showing it. Everything is showing it.
Mm-hmm.
Who else did you grow up loving?
I mean,
be honest.
Yeah, a lot. I showed you guys my Cena figure, but I'm a huge Cena mark. I don't know, John Cena. I mean, when he really made his debut, I think I was like 7 years old, and I was just enamored by his character. So, I mean, I really loved like the Professor of Thugonomics and just his character progression. And I thought he did great work when he came back to WWE, obviously with this short stint with Roman. But I mean, he's up there, and I'm kind of like your basic front runner, I guess. But I also love Stone Cold. I guess he was just so amazing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but a lot of my I don't know, I relate a lot of my. I feel like now it's hard to really get behind a WWE superstar, if that makes sense. It's just like
I get it entirely. I'm not attached to anyone right now, and that makes me sad.
Exactly. The only guy I could think of is Roman, and that's just because they're booking him how they should book a lot of people. Not super dominant, but they're giving him good stuff. It's not like yeah. So
I enjoy Roman. I have, I'm still not attached to him. The guy who I was the most attached to is Aleister Black. I was so looking forward to him coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they gifted him to AEW on a silver platter, and now we get to see what he really could be, not the WWE toned down version.
Yeah.
So
I've been loving Malachi. He's awesome. He just
Yeah.
kicks people's heads off, literally.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
The trip, man.
He's being booked 100% the way he should be, and I bet you Paul Heyman's sitting there watching it, loving it,
Yeah.
because this is probably exactly what Heyman wanted to book, the way Heyman wanted to book him, because Heyman was 100% behind Alistair, Malachi, Tommy End, whatever you want to call him.
Mhm.
So, but and again, like I said, I kind of hate seeing. Well, AEW is a new era. The best qualities of Attitude Era. ECW, yeah. I just realized it's from Chad. Once I started reading, I'm like, this sounds like Chad. Southern
Chad knows his
Territory
shit,
Wrestling,
though.
Lucha, dude. Strong style and Chad says this all the time, and he hits the nail on the head when he says that. It's just a mix of everything. There's something for everyone. And let me tell you, talking to Chad and listening to him, he is one of the brightest friggin' dudes you'll hear discuss wrestling out there today. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, like when
I
we're
would
doing
agree
a
with that.
debate show, I listen to him and I'm just like, holy smokes. Like his little thing on the debate show about, Vince the promoter versus Vince the the genius booker, and when he was done, like, dude, just drop your mic and walk away because you just nailed that.
Yeah.
And he continuously does that. So I mean, I love working with Chad. Chad is amazing, and all of our guys, like Mike, we loved Mike. That's why he's here. And Sneed and me, we connected first, so we're very lucky. So
Yeah.
I feel so blessed to be part of these guys.
That's why I like you guys so much. I was so happy to find you guys, and I listen to all the other I listen to Sam Roberts, who you guys had on the show. I listen to Busted Open. I listen to Wrestling Inc. But this is now last night I was passed out, fell asleep early, but this is my recap show now. The number one recap show.
Oh
So you
man,
guys
thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's just like you guys have a little bit of everything to offer. I love that you guys talk about collecting, and I like that you guys do recap shows and you do debates. The debates are cool. But that's truly, honestly, I enjoy it. And there's a lot of different perspectives. Like you guys have young Anthony. There's a variety of age ranges, and it just makes for good wrestling talk. And honestly, right now, it's I can't get enough of pro wrestling talk. It's that
No.
good. So,
dude, it's kind of crazy because I noticed the more and more people I talk to are watching wrestling now.
mm-hmm.
It's like shocking how many. If I wear a wrestling shirt, how many people are stopping me? If I wear my Brody Lee shirt out a couple of weeks ago, the Exalted in Heaven, and 3 different people stopped me, and 2 of them were women, saying, "Oh my God, that was way too soon."
Nice.
So I've said this. You've probably heard me say this before. People are probably bored of me saying this. Wrestling's in the middle of a friggin' boom right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's so much wrestling, good wrestling between AEW. NWA had an awesome weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You got Impact, which is on the upswing again. They're just so Ring of Honor. There's just so much going on right now.
I went the best in the world, by the way. It was amazing. It was awesome.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
And that was my, I mean, it wasn't packed by any means. It was still pod seating, but first wrestling show, and I don't know how long. And it was my fiance's first wrestling show too. So she got a little bit of taste of what ROH is all about. And I mean, man, ROH, their talent, even the guys now that aren't considered big name yet because they haven't been dispersed to other companies, just incredible the shows they put on. And I'm a real big Brody King guy now after watching him in person. His chops are absolutely disgusting.
Brutal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I was
the best in the world. It was cool. That's such a great atmosphere. So
I mean, I love the thing that amazed me at Rampage was actually seeing Jungle Boy Jack Perry work in person.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a whole new respect for him.
Yeah.
At how good he's in the ring, man, and he's so young, and the future is bright for that kid, man. He's so good. What do you think of the Danhausen?
Honestly, early thoughts, didn't really enjoy him too much, but after seeing him in person, he's entertaining. I think he's definitely an acquired taste for a lot of people. Like I was listening to Sam Roberts' podcast with him on it, and I was like, I don't think I can listen to a 40-minute interview with him, but
Yes.
yeah, I'm like, how do you maintain that for how long? But I don't know. I think he's very entertaining in person, and when you watch him, like he goes on commentary a lot for the ROH YouTube shows, and I think he's very entertaining. But he's definitely an acquired taste for most people. But I've grown to like him. So
It's funny when I told Mike this because I only discovered him a couple months back. I've heard of him, like, oh, let me check him out.
I was putting him
And
over.
yeah, and I started and I'm like, what is this? Why am I watching this?
yeah,
And why can't I stop watching this?
yeah,
Like it just drew me in, and he just does it in such a way. The
Yeah.
dude is super talented, and again, like he got himself over during the pandemic. That's when he made his name,
yeah,
and that's pretty friggin' amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Nice.
let's talk about what's some of your favorite matches. What
Some of my favorite matches. Well, this one's controversial, but I don't know. I for favorite matches, I think of ones that stick with me most. Right nowadays, we consume so much wrestling, right? So I'll watch so much wrestling, I can't even think of what the main event of Raw was like a week ago. So
That's because it's forgettable. But
yes, exactly, very forgettable. But one of the biggest matches that I was absolutely stunned that I never thought would happen, and I was pissed off at first that it happened, was Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker WrestleMania 30. Like that, as a wrestling fan, I was legitimately, I never thought he was going to lose. And I was, I think, at that time in high school, I was like a junior, and I was just like legit pissed off. And like that's good stuff, right? Because you actually feel a real life emotion attached to something. So that match, I mean, was just insane. I was pissed off at first, but then I was like, wow, looking back on it, that match is something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. And then another one too, and this is because we had it on either VHS or DVD, was the 1992 Royal Rumble with Flair. I think I've watched that like 300 times. So that's just one that if I ever was bored at home, I would pop it in and you'd pick up different things each time. But those are two matches that really stick with me. But now after the long day like today with the first day of school, I can't even like pinpoint certain things. But that Brock Lesnar match, WrestleMania 30 with The Undertaker, I was legit stunned. So I think of moments like that really so.
what do you mean, Chad? Oh, stop, Tom. Why? What did I don't even know what I did. He's telling me to stop. I love that 92 Rumble. That might be the greatest Rumble of all time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I had a pay-per-view party here for WrestleMania 30, and everybody was like, piss break, Undertaker's on, and like we were all eating wings and like gaggling up, just like, oh, that's cool. Like he's gonna win, we're gonna be good. And then it all happened. We were all in the right in front of the TV, and everybody was just like, what the fuck just happened? And it took like 10 minutes to register. Like that really took the breath out of the room, man. Like more ways than one, it took the breath out of a huge ass arena. But like even the people at home were like,
yeah,
so that's a good match, man.
As everybody knows, I wasn't the biggest Undertaker fan, but holy shit, that was a moment. I sat there shocked. I don't think that Brock should have beat him. I don't understand why the streak couldn't have went on and continued and probably not even ended. But if it was going to end, why wouldn't it have been to a young guy that deserved a push that you're really, I mean, Bray Wyatt would have been a perfect guy to do it. I thought. It would have made more sense if you're trying to build Bray into this monster. Well, what better way to build a monster than to beat a monster?
Yeah.
They would have booked Roman, and it wouldn't have been Bray, and everybody would have been pissed about it back then because everybody hated Bray back or hated Roman back then. So, yeah. With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment of my life.
That is what a great friggin' Rumble that is. Like,
amazing.
Is that one of Flair's greatest moments? It has to be, right?
Easily. It's up there.
Yeah, I would say. And I'm a big mark. This leads us into the next WrestleMania 24. Him and Shawn Michaels. My God. What a story told. Like he's like, I'm sorry, I love you, and just he's standing up. Ric Flair's crying, and then he gets his head kicked off. And then as he pins him, he's hugging him as the 1, 2, 3 hits. So that's another match. But yeah, I would say 92. I mean, that's just such an iconic Ric Flair moment, who is probably the GOAT.
The build up for Mania with Ric Flair and Shawn was so good because Ric Flair was like, "I'm going on if I lose, I'm done. I ain't wrestling nowhere." And then like, he did his ECW run with the Big Show and all this stuff. Like, it was just crazy shit, and you're like, wow. But then like, you finally hit that Shawn Michaels match, it like felt right. Everybody was like, okay, like, we're here, like, let's witness it. And it was beautiful, man.
It's funny. One of the things I do, and you guys probably do this too, there's just certain things you'll hear that remind you of wrestling. And every time I want to say I'm sorry to somebody, I think, I'm sorry, I love you. Like, isn't it? And there's so many other little wrestling things like that too. But it's like, yeah, then I just want to, when I say I'm sorry, I love you to my wife, I want to super kick her after it. But give it a sweet. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really want to do that most of the time. But yeah, like that was another moment. And Ric Flair, wow. And it's good to see him getting to be Ric Flair again. And I think it's kind of funny that as we see Ric Flair being Ric Flair again, we're realizing he could still be Ric Flair, not what he was in WWE.
Yeah.
Like what he did in NWA, the clips from what he did over in Mexico, was that AAA?
Yeah.
Like what he did down there. Like, we're getting to see Ric Flair again.
Exactly.
Like, honestly, we don't really want to see him in a match again at this age, but like making appearances. Like, what
maybe
he's doing is perfect
here and there,
Yeah, some chops. Why not some Ric Flair chops? He could deliver some chops.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who was almost dead. And he's back and he's entertaining, and he could still entertain, and he's riding the trains and doing everything he's got to do to be Ric Flair.
Ramblings, he's going to be it all out.
Yeah, he announced it on a podcast that he was going to be in Chicago with Andrade for All Out. So,
oh man,
you don't know.
Show.
I'm wetting my hair. I'm going to slick it back. I don't wear a suit. I'm dancing, slamming the shirt on the ground. Come on in.
You got to elbow drop the shirt, the suit jacket. It's crazy. I'm so happy, and it's thanks to Mike that I got to go to Rampage, and he pushed me, and I could never thank him enough for that. But I'm so happy he gets to go to this. I wish I could be there, but the rest of the Tavern's going to be there, and I'm so happy for them, and I can't wait to hear all the stories. It's going to be.
I could have made it work for the weekend. I would have made it work for the weekend instead of Rampage, but you did get to see one of the best debuts.
Hey, listen, I have nothing to complain about. I got to be there for a moment where I'll never hear a building that loud again, no matter how long I live.
Yep.
So the chance.
Tear in my eye.
Yeah, dude, you're not kidding. And part of that moment was the few minutes leading up to the Rampage even starting that people didn't even get to see. The Tony Khan coming out and doing his little promo, and then the whole audience just chanting for like 10 minutes straight. CM Punk getting louder and louder. The building was shaking before, and then you guys at home didn't hear the music playing, like the intro music that they played for a few minutes before it even started.
Yeah.
Like, that was a moment in itself that only because I was there, like, I get to hold it in my heart forever. Right, Mike, that moment.
Yeah. No, it was they played the Bulls, walk-in song, the 90s Bulls. So it was, right now, Michael Jordan. And it was just like, that kind of shit. And like, Tony Khan comes out, he's just a little kid. Hello, Chicago. Yeah. You're just like, fuck yeah, man. And like, then
he marked out up there. He
did mark out. And then you seen like, they're like, we're cutting the announcers. They cut the announcers. The crowd's already like, it's fucking happening.
Yeah.
And then the static hit, and like, you couldn't even I couldn't hear the music for at least a good like 30 seconds to a minute. Like, it was
you could barely hear it on TV. It was something
beautiful, man. Yeah.
Crazy. Oh,
all right. Our Chad has a good question for you. We were going to bring this up. We'll bring it up now. How did you start and build, your Twitter, Pro Wrestling Central? Was that it? Wrestling?
Yes. So, obviously huge WWE fan. I had my personal account, which I would tweet a lot from about pro wrestling, just because I love it so much. And really, what makes pro wrestling, I think, is the fans, the fan base. You go to a wrestling event, and I think I remember you guys talking about like the people to your left were like your best friends by the end of the night. You have no idea who these people are. So that's why I truly love it. So I wanted to I think too it revolved around a high school project. So it was in 2014 that I started it. I think we had to create some sort of social media account, and I was like, well, this is the perfect scenario to make a pro wrestling fan account, so I can tweet from that, and pretty much tweet whatever I want as much as I want, because I don't want to like drown my personal timeline with wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Because I get excited and I just want to like share my thoughts. But that's pretty much how it started, and it's been growing a lot ever since. It's hard to gain a following no matter what you do, even though social media seems so big. It really is hard to get a following. But again, just with consistency, and honestly, like I almost gave up. This was how bad my pro wrestling fandom kind of went down the hill. Was I really stopped tweeting from it during the pandemic. Like those performance center shows, like I stopped watching wrestling as a whole. I just couldn't. It was
Wow.
like it was difficult for me because the fans, like that's what makes it. So that's how it started, was from a high school project, and just because I like to tweet so much, that's how I started it. But I really enjoy it. Some nights are crazy, like AEW. They have I get so many responses. Like I had a tweet the other day. It has like it's almost up to 100,000 impressions. So
Wow.
fans are sweet, but that's really how it started. So I love it, love tweeting from it, and I also use it as an avenue to network. So if I'm going to an event and if anyone possibly follows me, we can like meet up beforehand, tailgate, whatever
Oh yeah.
type of stuff. So that's how it started.
That's awesome, man. That's great. And I see you've built quite the following on there. You know,
Yeah.
one man show. That's pretty damn impressive. You know, it's so funny. Like I do some live tweeting sometimes, but watching WWE, it's like so boring. It's like, oh, what can I tweet? And then watching AEW, I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
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 So, like last night, I hate to admit this, you know, I went back and I saw the clips today of what happened between Nia and Charlotte, you know, during their match with the little, you know, they started trading blows for real.
Yeah.
I was so bored by the show, I didn't even notice it. Like,
Yeah.
like they just bore me that, and it's sad because I want to love WWE again. And I feel like since I fell in love with AEW, it's making me more disconnected from WWE than ever.
Yeah.
But and I will give Raw just a little bit of credit. At least the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been repeat match after repeat match.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's something they're trying to do or it's just shit luck.
Yeah.
So,
Who knows?
well,
Who knows?
A little bit of A,
I
a
mean,
little bit of B. Like.
yeah, exactly. And as long as V is there, we're all effed. So, but so what is the biggest moment you've been to live?
So, I think it was. So I'm originally from the Pittsburgh area. I live in Maryland now, like an hour south of DC. So the
From
coolest
Britsburg.
from Pittsburgh, yes. I wish I was at. My mom and dad actually went to that show. They were at.
Did
the,
they?
Wow.
So they're wrestling fans?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Huge fan. So they were at that show. A couple of my buddies were at the show, and they said the energy in that arena was awesome all night. But my favorite in-person memory, so it was Roadblock 2016, and I'm in college at the time. I know, very very random, like Roadblock temporary pay-per-view, but so we're there, and we get there, and it's in Pittsburgh, and we're in college, so we get like the last row, $20 seats. We're like, hell, let's get to a pay-per-view. A couple of my friends, and we go to the box office, and it's like your ticket's not scanning. So I'm like freaking out. I'm like, all right, what the hell's going on? So, this
Is
is
this
my
your
buddy.
buddy? Okay.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, go to guest services. Something's not right. And I'm like fuming because I'm like, I want to get a shirt. I want to get in the show, get my food, sit down, catch the pre-show match. And we get to guest services. They're like, excuse me, sir, your ticket has been upgraded. So granted, we paid $20, and it says, I look at the ticket, I'm like, it says row B, seats like 16, 17, 18, and we literally got second row seats, paying $20, second row seats, like behind the announce table. And at the time, that's the time where the main event was Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, and that's when Kevin Owens and Jericho were doing magnificent work together. So it was actually a good pay-per-view. But we got to see that second row. That's the closest I've ever sat to ringside. But I was like, holy shit, we paid $20. And the reason why they upgrade our seats, they used our set of 4 seats for the panoramic view of the arena. So they used our seats and they upgraded us to second row. So I was like, yeah, holy shit. So I have the chair still to this day. I have the ticket slapped underneath it. It's a memory I'll never forget. So
That's
amazing,
awesome,
man.
man. You know, it's funny. I love this conversation with you because you reminded me of even, WWE hasn't been what it was, but you reminded me of some of the highlights of the last, 20 years, like the KO and Jericho stuff was so good. Like even up until a few years ago, they did do entertaining stuff. Even though there might have been crap on a card, there was still entertaining stuff. And it's like they've, and the stuff that's okay now doesn't even compare to that. And that's truly the sad thing about what's happening right now. Again, the most popular guys they're handing over to AEW, but thank you. We get to enjoy them in a better way.
True.
And look, I was a WWE fan for 40 years. Mike knows, like, I never even watched WCW. He's gonna try and get me to watch some WCW stuff and other stuff because I was
ECW is where you missed out the most, man. But I feel it.
yeah, ECW, like I kind of peaked at some of that stuff a little bit, but not enough. But like I was so too into the WWE bubble, I never like strayed away. And for AEW to be doing this for me, like I know I've said this 1,000 times too. Like I wanted wrestling to be like it was for me when I was a kid. I'm like, I wish it could get me that excited again. But I guess it's all because you're just a kid that it means so much more to you. And AEW is proving that wrong with what they're doing it now. Like they're proving me like, hey, listen, I could still get excited when a show goes off. I still can't wait for next week now. Like there's I can't wait to see Malachi Black again. And guess what? He's not on TV every single week. So when you do see him, it's special. And that's what it was like back in the 80s. Hulk Hogan was never on TV. Like Mike had a promo every once in a while. I remember him fighting Johnny Rods in a jobber match. He never even did jobber matches back then, like Saturday night's main event. But if you wanted to see Hogan, my dad was taking me to Madison Square Garden to see him, and that's where I would see him. So
that's a goal of mine is to go to MSG show at some point.
We all got to get there together.
Dude, you let me know when you want to go and we'll go. All right, bro. Oh no, wait! I just turned into Vince Russo. What the hell,
bro? Listen, bro. I got God and hookups. Okay, bro.
The Garden is an amazing place. I love the Garden, and I'm so lucky to grow up, in New York to get to go to the Garden and go to the Meadowlands and all these local shows, and it was at WWF's backyard. It was their hometown. So
amazing, man.
It really is. Mike, we're gonna get you out here. We're gonna go to a show, but Austin, you're not too far, so we might have to hit up a show at some point before.
Just gotta lasso his ass up.
Hey, Survivor Series. There might be maybe some good matches. It's coming to Brooklyn. That's where it's at. So I've never been to New York, so I need to get. I've been to Chicago. I've been to Chi-Town, but I've never been to New York. So
did you have Portillo's?
No. I forget which one I had. I forget which. But yeah,
all right.
I gotta get you out here now and just give you the Tom Montalto experience because I've never heard a kid happier.
Dude, honestly, I tell my wife this, I tell Mike this. It was one of the best weekends of my life, and his family was amazing, and they just made it, so special at a crazy time for me. And like I'll never forget it. And like I look at the pictures every single day still. So it was just amazing. But yeah, I need to, believe it or not, I've been to Raws. I saw the Dudleys put Mae Young through the table. I was sitting like 3 rows up from when that happened.
Oh my God. That was insane. That was nuts.
Yeah, like I literally sat there like, oh my God.
How didn't she die is the question.
Crazy she could take those bumps, but
yeah,
I need to go to an AEW pay-per-view, and with my friends at the Tavern, I think that's not too far off. I don't think it's too far off from happening. I keep thinking about the Queen show and for AEW.
You going?
I don't know yet. Maybe it's like a 2-hour trip from me.
Okay.
I still might have to make it. I'm gonna have to wait and see what's happening in the next month. But we got a Philadelphia show coming up for AEW. We have a Newark show coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to crash one of these shows and get to go again. Mike Belcaster got me out of my shell a little bit. Like I like to sit at home and watch things on TV, and I'm a little too comfortable doing that. After that experience,
he's your bad influence in your mind
Yep.
because you made me buy 2 of the Mattel rings.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bad. Oh well,
we were doing that. We were doing that together, Austin. It's not just Tom. It was. I got 3. He just kept. I think you're gonna buy a 4th. You're gonna buy a 5th. I was like, whoa, hey.
You were gonna buy a 4th. You copped out.
Yeah, I was this close. I didn't comp out. We ran out of Macho Man. Mike Spellcaster, brother. Yeah.
That's so funny. And then we got the awesome Nick Storm in the house watching. Can't wait to be with him tomorrow night on the Dynamite Discourse show until Mike Belcaster can join us.
Third row tomorrow. I'm so fucking pumped, man.
I'm gonna be looking for you on TV, dude.
Are you going to all 3 shows?
I got physical tickets to all 3, and then I upgraded my Dynamite show because of seeing a third row like super VIP one. So it's like, boom, I'm going to buy it. Like, fuck it. And I get in the arena early, get, early merch shit, all that stuff. But I seen that AEW at All Out is handing out chairs for All Out. And I was like, do I dip in for the $1,000 for a fucking third row seat for that? I was like, maybe not. Yeah. I'm at 115. So it's like camera side, a little higher up in the back. So not bad, but I was just like, fuck, man, I really want that. I want those chairs, goddamn it.
Yeah,
that's all right, Nick. We have to do that. Okay. I wish we could hand out all the Mike Belcaster face masks so we could see a whole section of people just holding them up with their "I'm a Mike Belcaster guy" T-shirt on.
I'm excited to see this banner that you guys keep talking about.
Oh yeah, no, we'll be live at the Billboard probably Friday or Saturday night, depending on the other Chad schedule. But I want to get a group picture of all of us in front of the Billboard.
That's
looking it up. It's right by the Now Arena. So like if you guys are driving in or driving out, before your shows, after your shows, come check out the Turnbuckle Tavern Billboard. Take a picture of it. Tag us in it.
That's big time.
Yeah,
that's big time. You guys are growing, man. That's awesome.
You might get a prize if you hashtag and.
No, we're definitely going to give something out. What it is yet, we haven't came to that decision. But there's been a prize package of some sort. Damn,
it's going to be a nice prize package. So somebody get out, get a picture of it, and make sure you share it because it's wrestling is booming, and you know what else is booming? The Turnbuckle Tavern. Cheap plug.
Hell yeah,
cheap plug.
That's good stuff.
I don't really have to plug it here because the people watching us, although the new people that Austin brought on tonight, maybe they'll stick around and continue to watch.
That's what I want to hear.
Great. Leave a comment.
Right? Leave a comment. Say some love. But yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. Fandom is going wild the last couple months, and I haven't been more excited in my 33 years of life to be just the happiest fucking fan. Like it all paid off.
Yeah.
Like you're growing up, you're like, why did I watch this for so long? It's kind of stupid. And then it's just like, oh, it's finally giving us a pat on the back.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah. And maybe Nick Storm, you gotta get your ass out here and take a picture of the billboard and find out.
Yeah, you take a picture of the billboard. Maybe Mike pays for your trip. I don't know.
Google Maps counts.
So you are a collector. You mentioned that you wanted to buy 2 of the arenas. Talk about your collecting. When did that start?
So my toys when I was younger, I absolutely destroyed. So there was no really nice remains of those. But I really, honestly, since the pandemic has started, obviously everyone's been going stir crazy. Our football season, I'm big into football. Obviously, if you can't tell, I played football in college and coach it now. Definitely one of my passions. So once that kind of shut down, I really leaned to getting back into collecting. So really it's a newfound interest or passion that I kind of regained from the pandemic. So that's one thing the pandemic brought was my passion for collecting stuff again. So want to collect all the AEW figures. I'm falling behind a little bit. But yeah, I mean, definitely not as big as a collection. And I got to see your collection room, Tom. It looks sweet.
Come down, come visit, man. You're welcome here anytime.
Yeah, but I don't have that big of a collection. It's definitely growing quickly though, and my bank account is
Shrinking.
shrinking.
I
Exactly.
get
Feel the
that.
effects,
Trust
man.
me. I
Yes.
totally get that. Believe me, it's why I'm a broke adult. I need 3 of these Macho Man cream of the crop figures, and then 2 of the chases.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite? What is your most prized item in your collection now?
Most prized item in my collection. I don't know. I spent in college. This was like so. Like I worked for a minor league baseball team in college, and I literally saved like any scrap money I had over the summer to buy a WWE like legit replica World Heavyweight Championship. So that's probably like my favorite. I have like the authentic belt and all that. So that's probably it's the one I had to work the hardest for sure. But that's probably my favorite piece of wrestling fandom, I would say.
Yeah, I don't have any belts, and I've always wanted one. And I think what I want to get is that new winged eagle that came out that looks so detailed. It looks like a beauty.
Is it one of like the themed ones, or is it just like the
No, I don't want
regular?
any of those garbage things.
Just
Fake.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Razor Ramon's got a toothpick holder. All right, don't be talking trash about it. Pull the toothpick out, put it in the mouth, look at the camera, like.
Nah, yeah, I just don't like those belts that they're making now. They're not real belts. You know,
Yeah.
No, yeah, I get
You
that.
can't relate
Yeah.
it back to a moment. It's
Yeah.
more just about a
So
superstar, but
okay, so then what is your holy grail that has escaped you so far and you can't wait to get your hands on?
I used to have the back in the day. Remember the SmackDown Titantron that you put the foot of the wrestler on, and it like played their music.
Oh yeah.
That is something that I used to. I mean, I destroyed the shit out of it because I was a kid, but like throwing it off stuff and throwing wrestlers. But that's something I would love to get my hands back on. So,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
by the way,
Look
there's a
out for
wrestling
it.
store. I think it's in Queens. I saw it on
you're
Zack
talking about
Ryder.
Wrestling Universe?
I need to go there. I want to go
Dude,
there.
I want to go
Case
there
freshens.
too.
Never been there.
I've been there once. Like he's opened up new locations since then,
Mhm.
and now there's also Hassle Toys that's out there. So like, I'm looking to make a trip to Long Island. How far are you from Jersey?
Probably, I want to say like 2 or 2.5 hours. Probably not
All right.
too
Well,
bad.
then maybe one day you'll have to drive here, and then I'll drive there, and we can do a tour, go from store to store to store. Like Mike Belcast's eyes are just getting bigger over
Yes.
here.
Hey, I live near the largest comic book store in the United States. I'm like a half hour away. It's
Oh,
called
wow.
Third Eye Comics. They have literally, it's massive. They have Funko Pops, wrestling figures, statues.
LJNs?
No, not necessarily.
Oh,
It's more of the newer stuff, but it's if
okay.
you're a nerd and you like all sorts of different things, it's like it's heaven
Okay.
for you. So
That sounds cool.
Those are the best
And
places.
then right next to Wrestling Universe is this really friggin' awesome pizzeria.
oh
We were waiting for it to open. I got there and they opened late. The one time I've been there with my friend, they opened late, so we're like, "Oh, let's just go for this pizza," and it was so good. Like I tell everybody, like Mike, I'm taking you for that pizza when you come in. We'll go to Wrestling Universe. We'll go get pizza. Then we'll go to the other Wrestling Universe. We'll go to Hassle Toys. We'll go visit Brian Myers. No, I don't think we're allowed to go to his house. I don't know where he lives. That's a joke. That's a joke. But yeah, we'll do the tour. Like, well, I'll do the tour with both of you because it gives me an excuse to do it, not do it alone. Because I don't want to hate doing things alone.
yeah.
That's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Except for driving to Chicago.
That's different. I was driving. Like I got to put on podcasts. I got to watch Dynamite as I drove. I mean, listen
You
to
got
Dynamite.
to watch Dynamite? Do you have a Tesla?
No, I have the little thing on my dashboard that holds my phone, and I have DirecTV, and you could watch whatever on DirecTV. So I just streamed it as I was driving.
Best way to do it, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So at one point, I did have to put the phone down on a seat and just listen to it because I noticed I was watching it too much.
Yeah, you're like,
You
oh,
could
I
have
probably
called
started
me.
driving carefully. That's
Yeah,
funny.
and then I got to listen to Dynamite Discourse as I was driving. That was fun. So
Yeah.
Good time. Always good
yeah.
time.
How far are you from Jimmy Seafood?
Jimmy's Seafood. Let me plug it into the GPS.
You've never been there?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yes, I have. Oh yeah.
Oh,
the crab cake, goddammit. That was one of
I
the
went
best.
there.
Jim
I was
Ross
typing
approved.
into my YouTube. That's not going to tell me where to get to.
I mean, maybe. YouTube's crazy now.
I am
That's true.
50 miles from Jimmy's famous seafood.
Wait, how far?
50 miles.
50. Okay. That's
Not
not
bad.
bad, man. Go
Mm.
get the crab cake egg rolls. Don't even get the crab cakes. Get the crab cake egg rolls.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Probably one of the top 3 foods I've ever had.
Yeah.
And I've got about 10 things on my top 3 list of foods of all time.
Nice.
Nobody got
yeah.
that joke. How can I have 10 things on my
things.
top 3 list?
Hey, it's been
I
a
know.
long day. It's I forgot my first student asked what my name was, and I almost forgot what my last name was. So
I
it is what it
get
is.
that, man.
Yeah.
I get that. Man, this was so much fun.
It
Thank
was.
you for coming on with us, man. It was a lot of fun. Plug yourself. Tell people where they can find you. And
I'm on Twitter a lot at Rest Central on the screen. I have a personal account too. I post mostly like football stuff with our high school on that. So, but Twitter usually. But I mean, I want to thank you guys. I'm still like starstruck. I'm talking to the OGFigKid and Mike Belcaster. Like it's like, whoa.
Hot damn.
oh
Yeah.
man, stop it, cut it out. You can go a little more. Come on.
Hold on. I gotta get my sunglasses on. These compliments are a little too bright for me, man.
No, but you guys truly do great work. You guys are a fun group of guys. I personally, I want to get to a show with all you guys and just bullshit, have a couple drinks, go to a show, have a good time. So whatever you guys are doing in the future, maybe that Survivor Series card is good enough for us to maybe go in Brooklyn. Maybe, I don't know. I need to get to New York City. So, but yeah, I mean, I do thank you guys for having me on here. This is fun. This is my first ever podcast experience. So
Good to have you,
Well,
man.
It was awesome to have you, and hopefully, maybe this won't be your last time visiting the tavern.
yeah, let me know if you guys ever
maybe-
need any help or whatever. And you guys know, keep tagging me in all your stuff. I love sharing it and all that. So
No,
Sure, man.
absolutely.
No, we appreciate you, buddy.
I was just going to ask you a question now. You said something. Oh, football. Who are you a football fan of? Are you the Ravens? Are you the Steelers?
oh my, I'm from Pittsburgh, and you just asked me if I'm a Ravens fan.
I don't have my towel on me, but I'm swinging
So
it.
I'm diehard Pittsburgh everything. Steelers. I'm embarrassed to admit I'm a Pirates fan, but the one thing, the Pirates have the best baseball stadium in the MLB, hands down.
I just went to Wrigley Field. Ever heard of it?
It's all right. It's a small place.
Wrigley, from a historical perspective, is amazing. But if you're talking views, PNC Park is awesome. But
PNC Park,
Penguins.
Dude, we might have to check out a game then.
Yeah, true.
I love all different ballparks.
Austin, do you think you have to get the Chase Britt Baker because she's got the Pittsburgh gear on? Is this a thing we got to do? Do we need to call somebody, Tom? Do we make it work?
I might have to drop some serious cash for whoever wants to give me that, or hopefully, I luck out and end up getting it.
I hope you luck out, brother.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a chase, man.
Although, too, you guys, my AEW figure collectors, my Kenny Omega, I like to keep it in box. His leg is like bent weird. How do you open the box without messing?
Dude, I feel like it's almost impossible.
I got you, brother. I said, hit me up in the DMs. I got you, brother. I don't want to give away secrets on the Tavern. You know what I mean?
Wait, you could do it with the AEW figures?
I know some tricks. Just bear with me, man.
Dude, I find it so impossible to open those things neatly. I destroy the boxes.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, yes, but there's workarounds. Everything.
Okay. When I open my WWE figures, Mattel, it's like I have my little X-Acto knife. I cut the tape. I keep them perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know you could do that with AEW. I'm gonna have to hit you up in the DMs, Mike Belcaster.
Tricks of the trade, man. Tricks of the trade.
Slide in them DMs, Mike.
But gotcha. All right, guys, that is it for us for tonight. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Austin, for being here. This was a hell of a lot of fun. Like I said, I think hopefully we're going to be seeing Austin again. Just a feeling. You never know. You
I'm
never
down.
know.
Thank you for having me, guys. This was
Hell yeah,
Dude,
man.
It was a pleasure. That's it for tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for Dynamite Discourse. On Thursday, don't forget, we have Hangin' at the Tavern at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by Fig Night with a special guest. Are we allowed to announce that yet?
Why not?
Well, then, Mike, let the cat out of the bag.
We have the package designer of Jazzwares AEW team, many other things at the Jazzwares umbrella, but Chris Metzger is going to come on and talk about packaging, figure packaging for a little bit with us. He's designed everything going back to WCW Bash and Brawl.
Oh, wow.
He's got some history, Daddy, and stuff the road like to tell you. So come on down to Fig Night. And let's do a little boogie and a little elbow in, and we got the daddy, yeah.
That's it. And then on Friday, we have Young Anthony with the SmackDown recap show at 10 o'clock. So, and then next Tuesday, we're going to have a special with Mike and the two Chads recapping their weekend in Chicago for
wow.
So
I'm excited.
Just a preview of what's to come here at the Tavern. So, thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. Love, peace, and wrestling.
Thank you.